I got into broadcasting because I like to give.
Hey, that's my cab!
Sometimes I found myself hurting from giving too much.
Fire these people.
But it's Christmas.
Bah humbug.
You are going to be visited by 3 ghosts. Expect the first one tomorrow at noon.
God, tomorrow's bad for me, Lou.
I'm the ghost.
I'm the ghost of Christmas present.
I had a funny feeling.
I can't get the antlers glued onto this little guy.
Have you tried Staples?
Don't you dare.
You're so happy, but so poor.
She made me do for a raise.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
May I? Oh, I'm having the weirdest day.
It's never too late. You can always change if you want to.
I've never liked a girl enough to give her 12 sharp knives.
For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be.
Did I forget something, big man?
God bless us, everyone.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and we're here to celebrate the Christmas spirit. We haven't done much reviewing Christmas specials or movies this year. We did recently finish up It, Welcome to Derry. Go check that out. I'll leave the link to the playlist down below. Gotta self-promote, baby. But I'll even link a Christmas shirt I made down below in the description box too, that you can buy off of bonfire.com. It's Santa Claus holding little baby Jesus. How much more Christmas than that can you get? But we're going to be going over the 1988 classic comedy stylings of Bill Murray in the movie Scrooged. This was released November 23rd, so relatively close to Christmas of that year. And for me, this was, for a long time, the definitive Scrooge movie that I'd want to watch every year. When I was a young lad, it was the Muppet Christmas Carol also. I loved that version of Scrooge. But to me, being the Bill Murray fan, this really got me on the road to liking him. Ghostbusters, this movie, all the way up to Zombieland, all the way up to even more recent movies that he's done in recent time, at the time of this recording. His career has lasted decades, okay? And whether you like him or you don't like him, this movie, I believe, is one of the better versions of Scrooge that you can come across and really have a fun time watching it. Get the same message, but have it be a little different, right? Because in this particular movie, Bill Murray plays a character called Frank Cross, who becomes basically like, or on the verge of becoming a television broadcast president, okay? He's going to get this Christmas special going that they've been planning all year. They have all the top stars of the time in the movie playing different parts. You even have Olympic hero Mary Lou Retton in this. And this is the time where Frank Cross has to come across his version of the Christmas ghost of the past, present, and future, right? To learn the lessons that he needs to before it's too late. Okay, there's still time for him to be saved. Because initially we see that over time, Frank wasn't always a bastard, so to speak, right? He wasn't always a meanie. He wasn't always suggesting stapling antlers onto little mice's heads to make them look like reindeers for a segment in a television show. That's how far this man has gotten, okay? But he had a love interest who's played by Karen Allen by the name of Claire, okay? And Claire and him met in a chance meeting in the streets of New York, and they fell in love. Okay, and she would call him Lumpy because she hit him in the head with the door one time, and, oh, Lumpy, haha. So they were very cute. Frank was very much an affectionate and loving person, but his ambition is what drove him to becoming the Frank Cross of that modern time, where everyone is afraid of him. Everyone is in fear of him because he feels everyone should have his same ambition because of what he gave up over time. He doesn't want to face it, but he realizes he lost Claire, he lost his brother, he lost people around him because of his need to kind of prove something to his father, even. His father never really treated Christmas as a special event. He remembered one time he got this T-bone steak for Christmas at 8 years old. And it's this is where he was learning his foundations of belief in Christmas is through this father who didn't really care about Christmas, worried about the materialistic goods as opposed to what really the reason for the season is, okay? And the reason for the season is giving upon yourself to others so then we can all have a little bit of an alleviated life, so to speak. May not always work out, but to let people know that you can be counted on can mean a lot for a lot of different people, okay? And as his journey continues with the visits from the ghost, we see him learning that his assistant's son, Calvin, has our version of Tiny Tim, so to speak, right? Not the guy who sings Tiptoe Through Tulips, all right? Tiny Tim, our version of Tiny Tim, Calvin, hasn't spoken in years. And you can kind of start seeing Frank get a little emotional when he's visiting his past, when he's visiting his present, and seeing about little Calvin here. And his mother's not really around to help him and be there for him because she's always got to cater to Frank, a grown adult, when her own son is going through some medical stuff, obviously, or some mental stuff, however you want to phrase it, but she can't be there for her son because of Frank. And once he starts realizing how selfish he's been, it really starts coming together. And so he interacts with one of my favorite ghosts out of the bunch here, Carol Kane's Ghost of Christmas Future, where she shows really where everyone is heading to with his ways, right? And how no one is going to care that he's gone because of how he was all this time. And to see the change in his love interest, Claire, because Claire's very much about running soup kitchens. She's very much, and she works at homeless shelters, okay? This is the type of woman she is. And to see her at his funeral in the future be so callous and so looking down on people because she couldn't take any more of, she thought that being good eventually altered her mind to I'm going to look out for myself. That hurt his heart because he made her that way. To see Calvin, a little Calvin, now in a mental institution, is hurting him. He's realizing there's consequences to his actions. And sometimes we can all be a little stubborn in our ways. We can all feel like we're the hero of our story, not realizing that we're the villain of someone else's story. And ultimately, that's what the story of Scrooge is about, is coming to terms with the fact that you can be an asshole, or that you've been an asshole to people. You've been a dirtbag, a scumbag, whatever it is, whatever other bags you can think of. We've all been there. But what do we do when we're confronted with the cold hard truth of accountability? Do we allow ourselves to change for the better, or do we take that and continue on our ways of being a grumpy person that the rest of the world has to deal with? And thankfully, in this case, Frank's comes to his senses when the Christmas special is airing live, right, to the nation. And that's when he kind of comes out and he just is like, just unbears his soul, and what Christmas means to him. And then ultimately, Claire comes and meets him at the station, and Calvin finally talks, and that's where we leave Frank with a better future. Christmas is always a time where no matter how much shit we've been going through all year, is a time where we can hope that things become better. I've always loved Christmas for that reason, and it's been a rough year here at the House of Tully, so to speak, and I just wish and hope that all of you have a very Merry Christmas. Have a Happy Hanukkah if that's what you celebrate, or whatever other holiday you're celebrating around this time. Remember how awesome all of you are, how amazing all of you are, and how much worth all of you bring to the world. Try to be a net positive in this world, and maybe everyone's life can be just a little bit better. With that being said, I want to thank all of you again for coming and checking us out here at Tully Television, and it means a lot to us, and Merry Christmas.